Hi there. Welcome to our program. This is English Digest, and I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And today we're going to be talking about technology, our computers, and our tablets, and our smartphones, and the cute little pictures that you can use when you're using those devices. Don't we love them so much? So today's subject is about emoji, which are similar to those stickers that you can use on mainly Line. I suppose they have them on other applications as well. I tend to associate stickers with Line, but I guess, like I said, they probably exist elsewhere.
WhatsApp added a few. It took them forever to add any. But I still think Line is far superior with their stickers. I wanted to mention, though, emoji can be plural or singular. And, guys, you can also just say emojis. So they're both correct. I say emojis as the plural form, and it might be easier for you. But emoji is plural is correct as well. It's actually our fun unit, Tom. We're going to talk about fun things. I think we all, though, just have to take a minute here and thank the Japanese for giving us Line and emojis because they're the ones who came up with it. They're kind of fun. I do a lot of the thumbs up emoji, and I do a lot of kissing someone with my family and the hearts in the eyes. I use that one the most.
Right.
Which emoji do you like the best?
Well, I try to avoid them because basically using stickers and emojis kind of keeps you stuck to your phone pretty much all day long.
No, it's faster, Tom. I don't have to write. I just do a little boom and I'm off.
But the more stickers you use, the more you're going to keep using. I think it just one thing leads to another. I think we should make a stronger effort to talk to each other face-to-face and use real emojis. See, I'm smiling now. Oh, I'm frowning now, etc. I think I like the real thing, but that's just me. I'm old-fashioned.
You
Call
are.
me that.
Yeah.
But yes, most people want to spend 20 hours staring at their screen all day long. If that's what they want to do, great. But let's talk about emojis today and how they became the face of instant messaging. Let's read the entire contents of our lesson now one time. What do a peach, a skull, and a shy monkey have in common? They all are exchanged several thousand times a day. If you're already confused, don't worry. We're talking about emoji. These colorful chat room icons take their name from the Japanese words for picture, e, text, mo, and letters, g. And they're perhaps the most recognizable symbols of the 21st century. Emoji were first created in 1999 by Kurita Shigetaka, an economics student working on the world's first major mobile internet system. Wanting to create a way to communicate ideas as concisely as possible, he designed 176 practical images that could be used to express everything from modes of transportation to weather patterns. The icons were an instant hit in Japan. However, it wasn't until 2011 that they spread overseas thanks to the inclusion of an emoji keyboard on Apple's iPhones. Practically overnight, emoji evolved into a global language. As a result, the images themselves became more international too. Emoji showing different skin tones, same-sex families, and women wearing hijabs were all added so that they could better represent the people that use them. Today, more than 60 million emoji are exchanged every day on Facebook alone. But what does this mean for the way we communicate? For some people, emoji add depth and feeling to text messages that would otherwise come across as cold and passive. For others, they erode our ability to communicate properly. After all, why talk about your feelings when you can just send someone a kissing face? No matter how you feel about emoji, though, there's one thing we can all agree on. They've rewritten our online conversations entirely.
Okay, guys, let's take a look at the title. It's got an interesting structure, I think. We talked about emoji being plural already and singular. But if you become the face of something, it just means you represent something. You'll often hear this phrase used to describe celebrities or models who are hired to represent a cosmetic company or a watch company. For example, Charlize Theron is the face of Chanel. Or who else is there?
I remember Cindy Crawford was the face of Omega watches, but that was many years ago.
That was a long time ago, yes. So instant just means something that happens very fast. My mom, when she wanted one of the kids to come to her, and we had an upstairs and a downstairs, she'd go, "You get here this instant. You come here this instant." So there was no delaying. You better hurry or you're in big trouble. But we often use instant to describe how food is processed, so it allows you to quickly prepare something. For example, instant noodles. Instant coffee. A lot of times that instant type of food doesn't taste very good, but it's quick and it works if you're in a hurry.
That's right. So again, it's the face of instant messaging. Of course, if you send messages to people using Facebook, maybe some other apps too, you can include those emojis or emoji. Again, you can use it as a collective noun or as singular nouns here. So what do a peach, a skull, and a shy monkey have in common? Interesting. Good question. Peach, of course, is a kind of sweet fruit. A skull is what we see of our head after we die, and a shy monkey, a monkey that is just not particularly outgoing. Yeah, what do those three things have in common? Gee, I'm stumped on that. I don't know. What do they have in common?
Well, if you're already confused, we're going to keep talking about it, so we'll answer that question. These colorful chat room icons take their name from the Japanese words for picture, text, and letters. My Japanese is bad, so if you're good with Japanese, you can see what those words are there. Say them out loud for yourself. They're also perhaps the most recognizable symbols of the 21st century. So I agree with that. Everybody knows what they are now. Even my dad knows what an emoji is. And he's definitely an older generation. So a lot of times people use them to just speed up a conversation. I use it because usually when I'm working, I'm recording and I can't actually talk to someone on the phone. So those emojis and stickers, I use line a lot too, they help me. If something's recognizable, it means you've seen it before. And when you see it again, you identify it. You know what it is. A lot of the celebrities who, are famous around the world, they're recognizable by a lot of people. I'm not recognizable by anyone here because no one sees us, right? You might recognize my voice, though, and a voice can be recognizable.
It certainly can, and most people are familiar with emojis. You got the basic expressions, happy face, sad face, etc. But of course, there are lots of other faces that are available in those numerous menus they offer when you send text messages to people. And of course, they are symbols of the 21st century. So of course, a symbol is something that stands for something or represents something. A diamond ring is a symbol of love, for example, for getting married,
commitment,
etc. There are other symbols out there in the world that represent other things. But yeah, if you're angry at somebody and you don't want to tell them so, you just put a little emoji in there of an angry face, and that will do the trick.
Sure will. So emoji were first created in 1999. Wow, do you realize they're so old? Woo, it was a long time ago. Kurita Shigetaka, I don't know if that's a guy or a girl. Kind of sounds like a girl name to me, but what do I know? So this person was an economics student working on the world's first major mobile internet system. Before we had smartphones, guys, our computers and the internet, they had to remain behind when we went outside. The internet was either on our desktop computer or laptop at home, or a laptop at work, but you sure as heck couldn't go outside and have access to the internet. That changed everyone's lives. I don't know for the better or for the worse, but sometimes I just want to disconnect, so I'm not always happy to carry my phone around. Sometimes I go outside without my phone, guys, because I don't want to deal with it for a while.
Oh, perish the thought. That's really hard to imagine nowadays. Of course, when we got the mobile devices, of course, everybody started bending their heads down.
Yeah.
But, of course, Shigataka Kurita, that's how you'd say it in Japan, I guess. You'd say the surname first. I probably didn't really pronounce that very well, but he created emoji way back in 1999. He was working on the world's first major mobile internet system, so he wanted to create a way to communicate ideas as concisely as possible, so he designed 176 practical images that could be used to express a whole range of things, to express everything from modes of transportation to weather patterns. So again, he's trying to communicate ideas as concisely as possible. So here, concisely is the adverb of the adjective form concise, which means you give information in a clear and direct way without beating around the bush. You're going to be very, very direct. And yes, an emoji conveys an emotion really quickly.
It really does. It's kind of fun that way. You don't have to type out a lot of words or letters to communicate what you need to quickly. Concise just means very abbreviated, very short. Sometimes, people, as they're telling stories, they just go on and on and on. And if you're at work, that's not helpful. So sometimes you'll hear a boss say, "Can you be a little bit more concise, please?" Which means, come on, speed it up. You're being too wordy. Well, this person, Shigetaka, he designed 176 practical images. Image is just some sort of picture. It could be a photo, could be a drawing. But here it is referring, of course, to the emojis. They could be used to express everything from modes of transportation to weather patterns. A mode of something is a different variety of doing something. So different ways to go from one place to another would be different modes of transportation. One mode might be walking. Another might be a bus, a taxi. Those are different modes of transportation. And also, he even came up with emojis that had something to do with weather patterns. I've never used one of those. I have seen sunny, like a big sun, like it's sunny today. But I would love to have one that represented typhoons.
Yeah, they probably have one, of course, but yes, weather patterns, sunny day, cloudy day, windy day, rainy day, typhoon day, a tornado is coming, etc., etc. Even probably there are some for earthquakes or other natural disasters that are probably too complicated to express in words. You can just use an emoji there. Okay, that brings us to the midway point in our lesson for today. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.Hello
everyone, my name is Tina. 在文章的一刚开始问了一个问题，认为这些图案有什么共同点呢？然后后面就接了今天有空格的第一个句子写着 If you are already blank one, don't worry.We are talking about emoji. 在这里呢，他说不用担心，万一你已经怎么样，那其实我们正在谈论的答案呢，就是表情符号。我们来看一下第一题的4个选项 A. Ashamed 羞耻的 B. Relieved 松一口气的 C. Confused 困惑的D. Wounded 受伤的搭配文意问你这个问题，看到这么多图案，如果你已经感到困惑，别担心，我们谈论的正是表情符号。搭配上下文意，第一题的标准答案就选择 C. Confused。第二个空格后面写着 blank 2 to create a way to communicate ideas as concisely as possible.He designed 176 practical images. 这个人呢，他设计了176种很实用的图案。那么在这里前面提到的是，想要创造出一种呢，可以比较简明的方式来传递想法。 我们来看一下第二题，是考同学们的文法概念。因为想要简明的表达自己的想法，所以创造出来实用的图像。我们可以用分词构句，人当主词，人想要，所以是主动来表达，加上 ing 是一种因果关系的缘由。所以第二题搭配文法句型结构，标准答案就选择 A, wanting.
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's continue with our lesson. Again, we're talking about emojis, which are symbols or icons. Okay, remember on your computer screen or on the screen of your phone there, you've got these little pictures, and those are icons. So we're also describing emoji as being icons as well. Symbols, icons, etc. So the icons... emojis were an instant hit in Japan. As soon as they came out, the Japanese just loved them. They were all over the place. However, it wasn't until 2011 that they spread overseas, thanks to the inclusion of an emoji keyboard on Apple's iPhones. So they were an instant hit in Japan in 1999, but people in the rest of the world would have to wait another 10 years to see them because Apple actually looked at their market. They realized, hey, they're doing something right there in Japan. We're not going to be arrogant Americans here. We're going to recognize their idea there, and we're going to include an emoji keyboard on our iPhone. And after that, everybody knew what emojis were. And in this sentence, we've got thanks to, which means because of.
Yeah, thanks to someone or thanks to something happening, something else followed. So thanks to the inclusion or including an emoji keyboard on Apple's iPhones, they've actually been able to spread emojis all over the world, at least overseas, right? Because the Apple's iPhone was the first smartphone to come out. So a lot of people got addicted and were very loyal to their iPhones. So practically overnight, emoji evolved into a global language. That's how it works, you know. Now that we can see what other people in other countries are doing, we actually tend to change our behavior faster or try to incorporate something that we're seeing abroad. Practically just means virtually here, almost overnight. Virtually overnight, they were including these emojis on the keyboards of iPhones, so they became very popular quickly. You could also say, oh, that singer became famous practically overnight. Not literally. Come on, you know, it took longer than that, but it did happen fast. And so it's a way to use this phrase to emphasize how quick something happened.
Right, so they became very popular all over the world, and they evolved. They slowly changed into a global language, and as a result, the images themselves became more international too. So, of course, when they first came out, this guy in Japan here, Mr. Shigetaka, designed them to be used in Japan, but if you're going to use those same icons overseas, some people might not understand them. They might not understand what an icon of a samurai warrior means. So, of course, they had to adopt them to different countries around the world so that they would make sense. So, indeed, more and more emojis started showing up. And yes, indeed, if you try to send a text message and you go into the emoji menu, my goodness, there are all sorts of different categories, and you have lots of emojis to choose from.
You sure do. And they've put them together, grouped these emoji together so that they're in different little categories by themselves. There's one where there's more food and celebration, and one where there are clothes. Another category would be all the hands gestures, like the okay and the thumbs up, things like that, thumbs down. So they have evolved or changed slowly over time into a global language. Emoji showing different skin tones. So you can actually change the skin tone of the person in your little emoji. Same-sex families, women wearing hijabs, we're all all added so they could better represent the people that used them. So today, this is the final paragraph, guys. Today, more than 60 million emoji are exchanged every day.On Facebook alone. That doesn't even count some of these other social apps like Line and WhatsApp. I use emojis on them too. But what does this mean for the way we communicate? Well, Tom brought up something, a lot of people no longer actually talk face-to-face.Or just pick up the phone and dial a number. I did that yesterday, though, because I knew the person I was talking to was upset, and I just wanted to call so that, I could kind of reassure that friend that things were going to be okay, instead of sending an emoji and going,Oh, it'll get better soon. I actually picked up the phone. Sometimes it's so much more important just to talk face-to-face. And if you can't do that, at least talk to them on the phone live.Don't text them or, Facebook them.
Yeah, that's another question, is it proper to send somebody a cancellation to say you're not going to show up at their party or something and you just send an emoji? Is that cheap or something? Is that proper? But that is another debate, as I just said. But again, we're talking about the fact that emoji do add depth and feeling to text messages. Some people would not do without them. They couldn't live without emojis to sort of enhance their texts. And we're not just talking about emojis, but we're also talking about stickers online and other applications here. And yes, after all, why talk about your feelings when you can just send someone a kissing face? Yes, it's so much easier that way. Plus, it's probably not as embarrassing either. You don't have to figure out the way to phrase something to upset somebody or something. If you phrase it wrong, they might get upset. Just send that emoji and it's clear enough. So no matter how you feel about emoji, though, there's one thing we can all agree on. They've rewritten our online conversation entirely. That does sound very much true. Indeed, I'm still kind of a novice at this.
Really?
When I send text messages to people, I don't really know which emojis to use. But evidently, sometimes if you send just a text message without emojis, then the receiver of your text message is going to think you're insincere or they're going to think you're weird or something. So you pretty much have to use emojis now. You can't get out of using them.Yeah,
maybe. I mean, it does give a little bit more of an emotional flavor to your text, I think, than just, strictly words that are typed out in either characters or English letters. But, they're kind of fun. I use them to save time.Like we said, it could erode our ability to communicate properly. Erode is what we say when something slowly over time is damaged and then at one point is just gone. Maybe you have a friendship and because of a couple of bad fights or maybe your friend lied to you a couple times, it has eroded your friendship. Or there's the Queen's Head in Geelong where the wind and the ocean are eroding the Queen's Head and one day that's going to topple over.Yeah,
I guess that's inevitable. But yes, wind and rain can erode the land and stuff like that. So some people think that, hey, using emojis will erode or decay or, reduce our ability to communicate in a proper fashion.
Damage something forever, huh?
Right, but again, that might be the older generation who just don't know how things work in the modern world anymore. Indeed, why talk about those feelings when you can just send that emoji or that sticker? I do notice that stickers and emojis are quite useful when you want to end a conversation. If you're chatting with somebody and you just want to say, no, I don't want to talk to you anymore, I'm too busy, then you just send a sticker to them and then you forget about it and everybody understands that that means conversation over. Well, that brings us to the end of our discussion. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
接着来看到第3个空格，前面提到呢，其实这些表情图案在日本很快的就受欢迎。However, blank 3, that they spread overseas thanks to the inclusion of an emoji keyboard on Apple's iPhones.在这里一样要考同学对句型结构概念的认识。这一句的句意是说，直到西元2011年， 它们才流行到海外，那么都是因为 Apple 在 iPhone 上面加入了表情符号的键盘。在英文的句型里面，我们来表达过去直到怎么样才怎么样，我们可以用过去式的 It wasn't until 加上时间点，再用 that 来说明发生了什么事情。所以在这一题第3题的标准答案，我们就要选择 B。It wasn't until 2011 一直到2011年，这样子的图案才很广泛的流行到海外。接着第4个空格的句子写着 Practically overnight, emoji evolved into a global language. Blank 4, the images themselves became more international too. 那么呢，几乎是在一夜之间，这些表情符号就进化成一个 global language 全球性的语言。有了这样的前提，后面说这些图像本身当然也就更加国际化了。我们要考一个转承词连接前后文句。第4题的 A 选项 as a result 因此所以 B on the contrary 相反的 C for one thing 其一 D to begin with 起初刚开始。那么既然成为了一个全球的语言，这些图示也变得是更国际化，所以用来表达前因后果。第4题的标准答案就选择 A。As a result， 第5个空格前面提到呢，因为是全球化、国际化，所以有不同的肤色、同性家庭，还有很多不一样的表情符号都被加进来 ，so that they could better blank 5 the people that used them。那么这样子呢，好让他们可以更好的怎么样使用表情符号的这些人。A 选项 interfere。干涉 B. exaggerate 夸大 C. participate 参加 D. represent 代表。表情符号有不同的肤色、同性家庭，还有包着头巾的女性，使用这些好让表情符号能够更好的来代表这些使用者。所以第5题的标准答案就选择 D. represent。第6题提到，对有一些人来说Emoji add depth and feeling to text messages that would otherwise come across as cold and blank 6. 其实会使用表情符号呢，就是因为觉得文字的讯息呢，其实是给人一种冷淡跟怎么样子的印象呢？第6题 A 选项 regional 区域的 B passive 被动的 C valuable有价值的 D. electric 电动的。因为文字很冷淡又很被动，有了这样子的表情符号，就有了深度跟情感。搭配文意，第6题选择 B 为标准答案。最后一个，不管你对于表情符号的感觉为何，我们有个共识就是 They've blank 7 our online conversations entirely。 它对我们的线上对话怎么样呢？ A. rewritten 改写 B. reserved 预定 C. recalled 回想 D. repaid 偿还。表情符号改写了我们线上的对话。所以第7题搭配文意，标准答案就选择 A. rewritten。 OK， 以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
That's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And gee, this is a radio show, so I can't include any emojis.
No, you cannot.
In this message. But
No.
I'll smile there, I'll frown or whatever. And those will be our emojis for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Please join us again next time. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.